Hi, I am Tanglista Holloway.
I'm John Farmer, and we are Fantastic Journeys Publishing, a assisted self-publishing company.
We are out of Boise, and what we do is we help people who want to self-publish so that they can do it, actually have their books look good and sell well, and they can actually do that thing that they really want to do, which is write a second book.
Now, for the most part, we are recording out of a house, so there are animals and children and all sorts of noises going on in the background. Please do your best to ignore them. I apologize if they distract.
They should show up precisely when we need emphasis or something. All right, so we decided to put together a video review of books that we have both read, and although we are going to start with some of the other books that we've liked through companies like Tor, we are also going to occasionally review books that we've put out ourselves. The first one that we are doing is
Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. It is the first book in a trilogy. It is published by Tor Books, and it is available on paperback, hardback, Kindle, probably Nook, I haven't looked.
Yeah.
And
on all formats. And the audiobook is narrated by Michael Kramer. So we're going to start with how much sleep were you lost? Now explain the how much sleep is lost aspect.
So a lot of people, you get books ratings from 1 to 5 stars or 1 to 10 or whatever the rating system. We've decided to go based on how late it kept us up because we just couldn't put it down.
Mm-hmm.
Or, in your case, how many conversations ignored because you were listening to it instead of actually participating with the rest of us.
I rank it a 5 conversations ignorable.
I was up regularly until 2 or 3 in the morning. The 3 or 4 nights that it took me to read the book, just because I couldn't put it down, and I knew if I brought it to work, I'd get fired.
Yeah. So it's a 1 job lost, 5 hours of sleep, and 5 conversations ignored.
So I think on a traditional system, I'd give it about a 4 stars.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go along with that one. So, what was your favorite part?
For me, I really liked the band of thieves with a heart of gold. That's been something that always captures me. I really like leverage and similar stories.
And the heist and
exactly.
Yeah. Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11. Yes. This group of heroes, and yes, I'm putting heroes in quotes because most of them would not consider themselves such, are really likable. They're very charismatic, all of them. Even the ones that don't think they are. And just the whole group fits well together and plays off of each other very well. And I really enjoyed the banter. How about you?
My favorite part was learning the magic system. The magic is based on alloys of metal, and certain people who have the natural ability of magic use can burn these metals. Some people can burn just one, whereas others can burn like multiple. And
they call Allomancer as the name for person who can burn a type of metal, whereas the Mistborn, the main character Ven,
can burn all of them.
Can burn all of them, exactly.
And in general, you can either burn one or all. You don't actually burn.
Yeah, you don't have anybody who can burn a couple of them.
Right. Okay, so.
And for clarification, burning the metals each metal has a different aspect to it.
Correct. It like iron allows you to be able to see the flows of metal and push against them.
Yep.
And then steel, which is its opposite, allows you to pull on metals
while also still seeing the metal.
The blue trails that show you that metal is being used.
And each type of metal has a different ability, and another alloy of it that gives it a similar or alternate ability.
Right. So, what were your technical, needs improving? What is your needs improving on this?
So for the first book in the series, the part that I thought was most lacking was the Lord Ruler. He's the villain of the piece. His character was discussed in passing for the most part. Doesn't is kind of a vague, shadowy, evil overlord type.
You see the effects of him more than you see him.
Exactly, and then so he is not as scary as I think that he could have been had you gotten to know him as an individual, more so than if than he was in the book.
Now, why do you think that Brandon Sanderson did
that? Well, I do know that. Well, having read the trilogy, more comes out about him in the second and third books. But I think that he was focused on the heroes, the band of thieves, more so than making it their story rather than the villain story.
Okay.
What about you? What's your dislikes?
The thing that I run into a lot with books like this, where they have a young girl involved, Vin is in her teens, is that teenagers are by their very nature not world-wise, but they are very daring. Which means that they think they're smarter than they are, but of course they don't have the world knowledge.
Often run off and do something stupid.
And do stuff. They do stupid stuff, and they have stupid things that they think and things. And you just, as an adult, you go, I was never that stupid. And then you meet, for example, I meet my daughter, who is a teenager, and she is likewise, she just doesn't do that stuff. And then on Facebook, I read how a friend of mine's teenage daughter, I'm actually reading the teenage daughter's comments, and I'm going, oh wow, no, they really are kind of that. Wow, I've just got an anomaly. So
you really do.
But yeah, as with most teenage girls, or just teenagers, you find yourself just wanting to slap them. You do. You just kind of going, okay, clearly we need to just stop you from doing this, because that's just not. Oh my God. It's kind of like when you're reading Game of Thrones and you're dealing with Sansa, and you're just going, no, Joffrey.
But that's a discussion for another book.
That's 2 weeks from now. So yeah, although it's probably fairly accurate, I hate that we have to see the stupidity of youth, because sometimes I really weep that it's too true. I don't want it to be that true.
It often is.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so the technical
likes and dislikes. Okay, since you read the hard copy.
So I read the hard copy. I liked the extras that get put in the book. For example, the chapter headings. He gives excerpts from a journal that they have. And it gives a lot of the back history of the world and really makes the whole place complete. I also really love the appendices at the end. In this one, he gives a table of the different metals and what they do and what the slang for somebody who uses that type of metal is. I like that. I like that it goes into more in depth and gives you much better information that wouldn't come out in the story because it wasn't.
Because the characters already know that stuff.
The characters either already know it, or there's no way to tell them that.
Yeah, it's not like the Great Muppet Caper. Well, it's plot exposition. It has to go somewhere.
Exactly. He doesn't break the fourth wall, which is nice.
Okay. For me, the audiobook is a single narrator, and Michael Kramer does a really good job of keeping the characters separate vocally. While he is talking in a specific character's voice, anything in that character's perspective stays in that voice. Like when Sazed is talking, all of the stuff that's going on in his brain is all in Sazed's voice, even though that's not out loud. Sometimes that can get a little confusing because, Vin thinks something and you don't know if she just said it. And you're kind of going, that's going to get you killed.
That is a lot easier in a physical copy where you can see
in a physical
italics.
Copy you can see it's italics. There's no way to change that you can't italicize your voice. I mean, it doesn't really help to do this, while you're talking, because it doesn't come across. So that sometimes you got a little of a, okay, no, that was in the brain. Good.
Once again, teenage girls thinking
girls saying out thing. No. But not just her. Excuse me. Also, you're dealing with he said, she said. Those phrases always bother me in an audiobook, simply because I know who just spoke because I heard their voice. It's a lot easier.
They bother you in written books too.
They do too, because frequently you do know. It isn't something that I feel like you need to do if you just describe it. I mean, people do stuff. I've been sitting here doing this with my hands. So if someone were to say, she flipped her blue hair, well, hey, John doesn't have blue hair and probably isn't female. So consequently, it was probably me talking. You don't need to probably. You don't need to do that. You can actually describe the actions of the person and thereby let the reader know. It's a little bit harder to do that with an audiobook, but then you have your voices, and the voices can actually carry that without you having to say Kelsior said,
right.
Vin said. But sometimes the narrator needs that to remind himself or herself who was just talking, and then they go into that voice, and sometimes that can be really tricky.
Sure. So we plan on doing a book review every week.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we will be recording from the convention Life, the Universe, and Everything out of Provo, Utah.
Yep.
It is a literary con.
Yep, literary con. We're going to be doing several panels there, so please join us if you're in the area. And
I will be sitting at a table looking to sell our books, which are also available on www.fjpublishing.com, as well as on Amazon. Which
you can't order them at your bookstore.
You can also get Mistborn there.
Yep.
And next week we will be doing a review for The Black Prism by Brent Weeks, narrated by Christopher Jean.
Yep, or Jean. We don't know.
I haven't met the guy.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching and listening, and let us know in the comments below what you think of the story if you've read it, and what books you would like for us to review. Thank you.
Have a great day.